It's a Manchu. Welcome back to the Outer Worlds. When last I left off, I was about to investigate something for the sublight salvage. But before I do that, there's something else I noticed that I missed, and I want to check that out. There was a data pad, I think, somewhere in here. That I walked right past it and didn't notice it until, reviewing my videos. Notes for revisions. Your report looks excellent, the numbers are front and center, and you highlight our recent production gains nicely. One small adjustment, could you increase the page margins by 17.3%? I want them to match the formatting of our other reports for maximum readability. Sanjar. Man, it's one thing to be detail-oriented, but holy crap, man. That's just obnoxious. Should I talk to Sanjay? Last time I was getting some very weird vibes from him. I didn't like the way he was looking at me. But I didn't really talk any further. I think I should, because he is the guy in charge of this place.
Oh, I knew the sweet smells of profits and nutrient-dense Piscine product would lure you back before long.
I was wondering why this place felt like Edgewater. It's the cannery smell.
Now, what business brings you here?
Just charting my own path, going where the wind takes me.
What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Alcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna.
I'm afraid to say, no, I'm not.
Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
That reminds me. I think it was somebody in Sublight Salvage that mentioned something about adult toys being one of their major exports from here. I'm starting to understand where that's coming from. Yeah, so what exactly are you hoping to accomplish here?
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Makes sense. So, you're just kind of scraping by at this point because you have to deal with, well, kind of a mafioso to get any trade done, right?
Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Mr. Vicar, I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that means anything.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Well, it didn't put it into mine, because I agree with Pravati. That didn't make any sense, what he just said. So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Returning to the board is your only chance if you hope to survive here on Monarch. That doesn't mean it'll be easily achievable.
Indeed not. No worthwhile plan was ever simple. That's what I always say.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
Okay, that's enough preamble. What exactly is the plan here? Are you trying to, form your own company and get your own seat on the board? Is that the idea?
It's a two-pronged approach. The first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
Okay, that's a good start, I suppose. I'm not sure how that gets you from point A to point B. This kind of reminds me of the underpants gnomes. Phase 1, steal underpants. Phase 2, Phase 3, profit. See?
With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
I guess that sounds like something useful. Maybe something so useful that the board can't help but open up to you again, because they really will need it. But what exactly is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Okay. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Once you have the Bolt 52, what's Phase 2?
I'll need to gather some supplemental materials, but I mustn't get ahead of myself.
You do tend to do that.
The Bolt 52 will be in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
What do you mean? Why are you saying it like that?
Saying what? Which way?
Arms. You're saying arms as in is an acronym instead of like a word.
That's just what it's called. It's supposed to stand for something, but I forget what.
Alright, I'll see what I can do, okay? I'm not making any promises, but I'm going to go outside the walls and explore anyway, so if I run across something like that, and it's financially beneficial to me, sure.
Good enough. I know when to settle. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Dangerous, huh? Dangerous as in embarrassing to the current administration? Can I ask you about something else?
What can I do for you?
Should I say something about Grimm? He mentioned I should put in a good word for him. Maybe I can. Yeah, I met this guy Grimm on the landing pad. Very enthusiastic. Gave me a very positive vibe for this whole community.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff?
Absolutely. He is doing a great job.
Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
I did my good deed for the day. Should I ask him about the information broker? That has to do with sublight salvage, but I'm not sure that... Well, I mean, sublight salvage has very close dealings with this community anyway, so maybe I could ask him about that. I'm looking for an information broker.
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate.
Oh, how do I get to Devil's Peak?
You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek. But if you insist on going, I'd recommend taking a local guide. Nyoka would be a prime candidate.
I don't need her.
If you can keep her sober.
Yeah, that's the problem. Keeping her sober. Shall I ask about the good old days? Yeah, I'm curious.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did MSI get kicked off the board in the first place?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
So, I think you're getting ahead of yourself again.
You see what I have to deal with?
For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. Back then, it was known as Terra 1.
See, the board put their best people on that one. What happened to the other corporations?
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
But not MSI.
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
I guess that's kind of forward-thinking of you.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Ms. Holcomb is our endlessly optimistic crew hand. It's good for the captain's morale.
It does
A
help
noble
my morale.
thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
Uh-huh. But I take it your leadership didn't really embrace that idea.
No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else.
And yet, you're still here.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
But why would they do that?
I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
Well, I can see why he wants back on the board. What's the hazard clause?
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's risk assessments.
And they've invoked that on Monarch.
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
Alright, let me ask you about something
What can I do for you?
I guess that's it. Interesting. Man, the people on the board are really stupid. Their actions have managed to create what's essentially an independent company. And they've created their own competition. Anywho, let's go on to this deal with the sublight salvage. It's very clandestine, James Bond type of stuff. Apparently, there's a dead drop over here somewhere. Wait a minute. I had the wrong thing highlighted. There's a dread drop somewhere around here, which should have some information that I'm supposed to take to the broker. If I can figure out how to get to it from here.
In here.
Oh, it does work. I bought some musk from Sebastian.
Hey, buddy.
Wouldn't mind smelling like salt tuna if we could sell more of it.
Dead drop is back here someplace. Huh? Bloody note. And that's also mine.
Inside voices.
Most of the text on this note is obscured by blood, but you can make out the words Lilia and passcode Antediluvian. Huh. Alright, so I need to take that information to Fallbrook, I think is the name of the place. But I'm kind of curious, what the heck is down here? Oh, typical. I'm going to get sidetracked. Let's check this out. Interesting. Where does this lead? Wait, is this... Huh. This is just like another exit, I guess. And I thought I was going to some kind of super secret place. Alright, well, let's see. Okay, so the broker's there, but, man... I've put off helping my companions for a long time. Actually, it looks like that scholar I'm looking for is also in Fallbrook. Okay, so I need to go to Fallbrook for that, so let's do that then. Cool. Let's head toward Fallbrook. Wait, let me check the map one more time. I think last time I didn't get far. I think I got it as far as this area here. I don't think I got much further than that, so we'll explore further. Notice also I have this new assault rifle thing. It's a pretty good weapon. It does significant damage. It's pretty good. I think it's better than that flintlock in just about every way. So, probably just be using this one from now on. Keep my eyes peeled for trouble, but I've been at least this far before. Just this far. Oh. I see a guy. Spitter. It's in a very bad mood.
Won't mess with us.
There's more down there. There's a Raptidon Mauler.
That's the last of them.
I like this gun. I put an attachment on it that gives it, I think, less recoil. Let me check that again. Yeah, I actually have two mods. The Sure and Straight Barrel, which reduces weapon spread and range weapon spray, and the Gyro Sight, which reduces weapon spread. And it holds pretty steady. There's not a lot of kick to it. It's pretty good. I like it. It feels really good. It doesn't have much of a scope, though, so I can't, like, zoom in on things in the distance. At least not very much. Yeah, there's a lot around here. I'm going to have to spend some time exploring this. Also, I'm not sure I'm going anything close to the right direction. Okay, I see. The main road winds around quite a bit, but it is going to lead me straight to Fallbrook. So I'm just going to follow the road then. I'm moving with some trepidation here. And right that I should. There's a Marauder lookout over there. Marauder ringleader. Crap. for it. Wait for it. Now.
Nice one.
I smite you in the name of the law.
That's it. I think it was already dead. Are we good? No. I must have snuck by that one.
Everyone all right?
Okay. I really like this gun. Did I mention I like this gun? It's nice. Not finding much loot. What the heck is this thing? I don't know, but I ain't stepping in that. Really pretty amazing landscape here. I hear lots of critters around, but I don't see anybody. Nope, there's something.
I'm ready for this.
Don't mess with us.
Cool. Is there another one back here? Yep. And didn't have anything on it. Straying off the path a little bit here. There's some more critters over there.
You got him!
Oh, there's another one.
That's the last of them.
Nice. Looks like maybe they hang around these pools. Iconoclast, huh? I was warned about the Iconoclasts because they like killed a bunch of board executives or something. Some kind of rebellion. I don't know if they're just going to be another brand of marauders or something else. Are they terrorists or are they freedom fighters? Hear something. I found a vending machine. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff over there. Alpha.
Here we go.
Here I go!
Thank you.
I swear!
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
Canids. Another dead Iconoclast. Let me check that vending machine. Need a little bit more money yet. It's down that way. I don't think that's where I need to go. I didn't see a way into that building. But I can get into this one. I see a dead body over there on the bed. No, I don't. I see a riot control armor and plasma carbine. Plasma carbine, huh? What's that about? Okay, I'm once again lost. Wait a minute. This isn't where I need to go, is it? No, in fact, it's sealed up. Huh. I don't know what the heck that is. Wait a minute. Looks like I'm off the beaten path here a little bit. Need to follow that road sign there. But I should check down this road too. Let's see what's down here. Huh. That's weird. It looks like some kind of hatch or something. Bayside Terrace Warehouse. Restricted asset. Restricted access. Authorized personnel only. Am I unauthorized? I'm going in here. I don't see anybody that can tell me it's wrong. That's mine. That's mine. Interesting. Take that, that, that. Looks like there's a terminal over here. What's this about? Sulfur-safe power generation system. Unauthorized access to this equipment may result in injury, death, or unemployment. Please wait while system recalibrates its gas sensors. That looks like it could take a while. I think I need to find more context to tell me what this place is about.
Wish I could do that.
It's a slightly more difficult lock. Alright, well, I can say I checked out here. Can I get in here? No. Can I get in this door over here? It just says locked. There's like no chance to pick it or anything. It's just locked. Wait. That's weird. Somehow I think I need to come back here later. Check my map. Alright. Let's head back down the road. This looks like someplace I need to check out at another time. Can't get into it just yet. Alright, Fallbrook is where we're headed. The heck is that? Occasionally divides by 0. Uh-huh.
Won't get any mercy from me.
I got no shot.
Everyone all right?
This gun is so awesome. Ultra hunting rifle. Ooh. That looks pretty good. I can put a decent scope on that. That might be a good weapon. See nobody down there. Not seeing anything. Starting to get quiet around here. I don't know if that's smoke or just a dark cloud in the distance. I see you. Recommended for early retirement.
Got a fight on our hands.
Great work! Nice one!
I got no shot. You get him, Vicar. Nice. Okay. What's that sign for? I don't know. Interesting. Interesting emblem. Is there something up there? Or is that just a mushroom that looked like something? There was something up here. Amber Heights Crossroad. I'm nervous about this. Amber Heights. Well, I was trying to get to Fallbrook, but if I'm at Amber Heights, I should check this out. I think there's something else I needed here. I don't remember what it was, but there was definitely something I needed to check out here. If I can get into it. Look like I can get in this building. Nope. Definitely no. Nothing to see there. Let's see if I can open this. Man, I can't remember what was here that I wanted to check out, but there was something here. I got so many side quests going on, I can't keep them all straight. Oh, wait, I remember. Amber Heights is where the Iconoclasts are. That's where that old lady's son is. He ran off to here. And I think there might have been something else I was supposed to do here. Hi?
Well, hello, and welcome to the home of the Iconoclasts. I'm Rose. Please, take a pamphlet. In it, you'll find everything you need to know about Graham, his philosophist truths, and the Iconoclast way. He wrote it himself, you know. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting we're out of pamphlets. Gosh, blast it.
Well, since you're out of pamphlets, maybe you could just explain to me with words. Who are the Iconoclasts?
Why, we're the only free people in Halcyon. No corporations, no shackles, no problems.
No problems, really. So you don't have issues with raptidons or marauders?
Oh, those are just hurdles. We deal with them as they come. You're welcome to stay with us, so long as you can earn your keep.
I'm not really interested in being tied down to community. Yeah, before I go, I was looking for somebody named Tucker. Have you seen them?
The new boy! Yes, he's quite clever. He took to our teachings very quickly. Last I saw him, he was headed into one of the buildings up the hill.
Yeah, I'll go check onto that. Howdy.
This armor itches something awful.
Okay, that's TMI, but thank you for letting me know.
Welcome to the Emporium. I'm Bronson.
Bronson? Emporium? Do you buy things and sell? Yes, you do. So, I'm a Manchu. You run a store out here?
It ain't really a store. Think of me more like a quartermaster, and a chef, and a handyman, and whatever else we need.
Jack of all trades, huh? Wait, you're a chef?
Cooking's my true passion. You need a raptidon to taste good? Bring it here, and I'll work a miracle or two.
Actually, I was looking for a very specific dish. And you're a quartermaster in your free time?
We gotta eat. Eating means hunting. Hunting means armaments. We used to let people take what they will, but then some idiot shot some other idiot over cards. So Zora set up a system. You fuck up, you don't get to buy gear. You play nice, you do.
It's a good system. Should I offer to help him with something? Oh, man, I don't know. Do I really want to get involved? It would be nice to get on these guys' good side, especially if I'm going to talk to that lady's son, whose name I forgot already. So is there anything I can do to help you out?
Yeah, plenty. If you're the type to fix a thing or two, I've got a couple reports I need to follow up on. The pipes up on Milton's house burst. Someone needs to shut them off. Then there are the cables outside the bar. A sprat chewed through them, and now they're spitting lightning. Then there's the old guardhouse, outside town on the way to the old Bayside Terrace. Someone needs to reset the comms breaker there.
Oh my gosh! You just said the magic words. You want me to do engineering and repair work. That's what I was made for. That's what I do. I'm an elevator maintenance operator. And there's a significant lack of elevators around here. I would love to help you with that. I haven't gotten my hands dirty working on a machine in so long. I'm afraid I forget what it's about. So yes, I will absolutely help you with that. It sounds like fun.
I ought to tell you, most of these systems are routed through one of our terminals. You might be able to handle some of them remotely if you know your way around a computer. We sent Milton out to check on the comms tower a while ago. Ain't heard back. I'd wager he got 8.
Alright, well, where's the terminal?
Up the hill. It's right on the cliff's edge.
Alright, I'll let you know if the guy get 8. Also, vending machine. Okay. Let's look into these odd jobs. I would kind of like to do this stuff because...
Seems like a nice little town. Except for all the dead critters.
Damned philosophists.
Max does not approve.
Carry on.
Oh, there's a workbench here, too. There, now I have these 2 weapons. One for close range, one for long range sniping. The hunting rifle Ultra has a nice silencer on it. And let's see. There's so many stats for weapons in this game. It's just a stupid amount of stats. Noise range 10 meters. So that's pretty good. Because I have effective range of 100 meters with this thing. So I could shoot something from like 75 to 100 meters away and they won't hear where the shots are coming from. Howdy.
Hope Zora sends me on next.
It's a terminal. Wait, what's this? In this copy of Dissident Hunter, the hero braves the dangerous hellhole that is Monarch. Numerous edits are scratched into the text, and a number of the villainous dissidents have had mustache and hats drawn into them. Somebody's got a lot of spare time. This is Huxley's terminal. Stay out. That means you. Alright, but I want to look at it. Repair terminal storage device. Due to external damage, this device can no longer store more than 4 logs. Storage capacity increased. Logs prior to the most recent 4 entries are unretrievable, but new entries may now be saved. Cool. Dear Diary. Graham taught me how to meditate today. You close your eyes and you breathe in real deep and try not to cough. Then you just listen to yourself. You know how sometimes you'll be hiding from a mantiqueen and you're trying to be quiet, so you focus real hard on your breathing and you can hear your heartbeat, and you think, how can this mantiqueen not even hear me? All of a sudden you have to sneeze, and it reminds you of that time you were coming back with a delivery, and as you were putting it on Zora's table, you sneezed and it slipped and a bunch of things broke. Meditating is like that, only you're supposed to think of these things on purpose. Graham calls it, I don't remember what he calls it, Recco something. He says it's your own internal truth, bobbing up to the surface, and the things you remember are what you're supposed to focus on and try to improve. When we meditated, I mostly remembered that sitting on rocks hurts. Maybe I'm supposed to toughen my tailbone. Zora's really smart, but you know what? Sometimes she can be such a bitch. I was supposed to get some info for her from Cascadia, but I couldn't find a way over without going through Marauders, so I gave up and stopped in at Fallbrook to pick up some supplies instead. While I was there, Chastity dropped in for a few games of whist. She's so cool. She's always playing games there. When I lose bits, I get really upset. I don't have much, so losing what I have, it hurts, you know. But Chastity can drop thousands in a single game and she's fine. Well, sometimes she drinks a bit and slams the table and storms out, but still, mostly she's cool about it and I admire that. Anyway, when I get back, Zora yelled at me because I was a little late. Something about medicine and not getting here fast enough. Graham just said to try not to lose track of time on the next run, and I promised I would. See, that's how you teach someone. Don't gotta yell and make them feel bad. Today, Zora gave me permission to buy ammunition from Bronson. I don't think I want to, but she said I should just in case. But guns are really loud. I'd rather just run away than shoot one. Still, I'm kind of proud. Zora said it was like a promotion for something I found in the wilderness. I think it's a code for a door, but I'm not sure why it's important. I can't even get near the place without getting attacked. I asked her what a promotion is, and she smiled in a really sad way and told me that I shouldn't worry about it. This will be my last entry. Sorry, diary. You've been a good listener, but our time has come to an end. This terminal was making a horrible beeping noise yesterday, and someone smashed it while I was out, and now I can't save more diaries. Milton can't fix it, plus he says I should stop coming into his house to write when he's not around. Whoever smashed poor terminal, if you're reading this, sucks sulfur! I think that's the kid I'm looking for. I'd steal stuff, but that would be rude. It's tempting. Find those things I was trying to fix.
Ain't seen you before. You from one of the outer steads or what?
Let's just say I'm new to Monarch and leave it there.
Eh? One of them inners from T2? Welcome to the little piece of hell we reign over. I'll give you 2 bits worth of free advice. 1, don't let the dust get in nothing private. It's like 10% spores by volume. You'll be yanking out fungus by the handful.
Ooh.
2, you can't actually keep the dust out. Always carry antifungals. Sprays work okay, creams are better. You got nothing else? Vodka.
I mean, I appreciate the advice about hygiene, I guess? Who's in charge here anyway?
In charge? Huh. We're Iconoclasts. Every soul a sovereign power. We do for each other on account of it needing to be done, not because some fancy-pants manager said to. Now, you want to rephrase that question, maybe ask who's respected hereabouts, I can give you a sensible answer.
Somebody has to be organizing things, right? You've got posted guards?
Every soul here knows to keep a weather eye out. Everyone's lost somebody to the wildlife. That didn't stop Miss Zora from picking a few souls and imposing a schedule. Be here then, leave there later. Downright un-icon... in-icon... Well, it ain't what we do. Take that on top of what happened on the northern expedition. She and Graham are exchanging harsher words than usual.
So what makes Graham and Zora such a big deal?
When the monarchists wanted to settle down and play nice with the board, Graham was the one that took a stand. He's the reason we're here, breathing free air. Zora's our best sawbones. Nearly every soul here owes her their life. She's got funny ways, but they work.
So you said Graham and Zora argue a lot?
Well, sure. It's on account of how we all work. No iconoclast makes another do as they say just because. You gotta convince them. That Graham and Zora argue all the time just says the process is working. Vigorous intellectual debate. You see?
Huh. So, I guess you have a lot of need for a medic out here?
Welcome to Monarch. The animals think you're tasty, the fungus thinks your lungs are a great place to plant spores. That ain't enough? Look at the sky. Olympus yanks this moon about like a drunk dancer. Storms to curl your hair and quakes to rattle your brain pan.
Alright, well, I'll see you around. Thanks for the info. And I will try not to steal things and get in trouble. Howdy.
It ain't right. How many good folk we gonna lose to our missions?
That's just the way of it. We gotta earn our keep out here.
That don't mean we ought to be following her into the jaws of a mantiquine.
You'd rather sit on your thumbs and starve?
No. All I'm saying is she gotta be more careful throwing away lives like that.
I love your helmet, dude. That is awesome. I want one like that. Looks like maybe this was a bar once. Once upon a time.
A mantiquine.
Yeah. We felled it, but we lost 2 runners and 5 gun hands.
A total failure, then. So much for the ruins.
And hell only knows where the Vanoys are. They never showed.
I'm sure they're... let's talk later. It seems we have company.
Hi!
Nice day, huh? For Monarch, anyway.
I guess.
A stranger comes to our home. If you're looking for a path to walk, you've found one. If you're looking for a teacher, I am one. Welcome to the Iconoclasts.
So, what is it? Yeah, I heard you're all out of pamphlets. It's quite a shame.
Ah, yes. The first step to accepting the truths of philosophism is to open your heart to its wisdom. I've found the written word to be quite effective in helping people do that. But alas, the eternal truth hasn't been generous with the paper and ink. Now, why have you come?
What can you tell me about the Iconoclasts?
The Iconoclasts are free folk. We live under our rules, motivated by our own beliefs, all petals on the same flower of enlightenment. Meanwhile, the board strangles the will of its workers. It is the penultimate exercise of a poisoned society where people are enslaved by a corporate ladder. We seek to replace their way of life with ours. Philosophism is the key to unlocking their shackles.
I don't know, man. It seems like... Back in Stellar Bay, they're trying to reunite with the board, but Sanjay's implemented reforms, right? Improved people's working conditions and lives. And it seems like he's doing good for the community. And if he can get back in with the board, maybe he can implement those reforms halcyon-wide. They can see how, useful it is in improving productivity to improve people's lives. It seems like you guys are just anarchists.
This is not anarchy. Society requires structure, Captain. It is just that the board's structure is killing the colony. Ours will not. All right.
Huh. So I've heard people mention an Amber Heights massacre. Something about murdering a lot of bored people. What happened?
I'm sorry. As long as it's been, I'd still rather not speak of it. That was a painful day for us all.
Painful or embarrassing?
It's fine. Perhaps someday I'll be strong enough to recall that tragedy, but today is not that day.
Can you teach me anything more about... Can you tell me anything more about your teachings?
Awakening is available to all whose minds are ready to accept it. What would you like to know?
I would like to know what you think Bakonu meant when he wrote, "Your work is to discover the truth, and then with all your heart give yourself to it."
Ah, how refreshing to have a scholar among us. Bakonu's text simply refers to our entire purpose, assisting the universe in realizing its own truth. Let it guide us as it will.
It refers to giving oneself over to the plan. It is not some paean to an invisible creator in the sky.
I'm intrigued. I want to hear more of this debate.
Were there a truth to the grand plan in the first place, I and Bakonu might agree. But what we see as divine purpose is just one facet of the universe figuring itself out. To quote, "As a child looking at the leg of an elephant, unable to view it whole, we mistake the tiny scope of our understanding as the unfathomably large purpose of the universe."
You're not completely full of shit, I'll give you that. Even if you do twist things beyond recognition to suit your own beliefs.
I want to hear more.
Were my teachings beyond recognition, I dare say I wouldn't have a small army of followers who understand and believe.
I owe you an apology. I expected you to be a complete idiot. I'd say you're actually more in the 25% idiocy range.
Likewise. Now, I'm sorry. What was it you were asking?
I totally forgot, but that was very intriguing. So do you believe in a great maker, a creator of all things?
Not in the sense of a single entity, fashioning the universe as a whittler fashions a flute. The universe came into being over time, organically, naturally, and without purpose. In that sense, I suppose you could say that, in the interest of finding its purpose, the universe itself created all living things.
The universe doesn't need to find its purpose. It is a mathematically perfect equation that gives mankind purpose.
That we'd consider ourselves in any way capable of understanding the universe, much less an equation that drives it, is nothing but hubris.
So what do you mean when you talk about your followers going through some kind of awakening?
The point of no return. When your mind fully opens to the eternal truth. Every philosophist experiences it along the path to enlightenment. For many, it is the first brush with the cold of death, when they realize that all of their lives have boiled down into the single truth of that moment. Mine was witnessing my friend and colleague transform into the very evil we sought to combat. Now he runs MSI just like the overlords before him.
Yeah, but his workers enjoy a lot more freedom than those of the board. It seems like he's really improved things.
Their leashes may be longer, but their collars are just as tight.
Alright, well, I hear you throwing around the word eternal a lot. What do you mean by that?
Ah, the eternal. We are all part of the consciousness of the cosmos. Each of us plays a tiny role in the universe's continual journey toward understanding itself. You and I, and the rats and the mantis swarms. Divinity is in us all, and the eternal is that divinity.
But if I don't believe this, how can I be divine?
Everyone, regardless of ability to believe, is another facet of the universe contemplating its own existence.
Ability to believe? I think you mean inability to tell fantasy from truth, which rules out any knowledgeable scientician.
Let us be clear. Neither of us can lay claim to being knowledgeable on this topic. It is a matter of belief. It is not as if OSI has gone and proven anything. Regardless, what were you saying?
I appreciate this mind-expanding philosophy. I myself am more a fan, at least partial to objectivism, so a lot of this is just gobbledygook nonsense to me. But cool.
All right.
Alright, I think I've talked to you enough.
Why have you come?
Would you believe I was wandering toward Fallbrook and I happened to come across this place? Can you tell me more about who you are?
I am Graham Bryant. I brought the eternal truth to Monarch, and soon I'll bring it to the rest of the colony.
Okay, I think I'll be going now. Whew, that was a long conversation.
Get a whiff of that sweet sulfur air.
What? Sorry. Long day.
Guess so.
You meditate today? If not, you should.
Oh, what's this? Access files on the Halcyon colony. There's a lot here. The board's lies. The board vastly overestimates their authority and grasp on power. Without the Earth Directorate's military might to back them up, they would not be able to maintain their life-draining grip on the colony's throat. They spread lies and misinformation to confuse and oppress the masses. Perhaps that's one of the reasons they have not allowed any colony ships since the Hope's disappearance. They've had 70 years to condition their good little workers to follow their directives unquestioningly. Their lies become more and more transparent as the years pass, and will soon be too obvious for even the most deluded colonists to see. I think they meant soon be too obvious for even the most deluded colonists to not see. Hey, whatever. A man from Byzantium told us of an acquaintance who'd been arrested for carrying Philosophus' texts. Not teaching, not evangelizing, just carrying. They oppress any truth that threatens their corrupt culture. Is that what we want? Do we want to live in a society where we can be sent to Tartarus for our beliefs? No. Their workers' minds are poisoned, their will shackled, their dreams hamstrung. This can stand no longer. We must tear this entire regime down. I hope to someday publish a greater work in which I can more expansively lay out what is so clear to me, that a society's obsession with a corporate-run life has stifled and crippled humanity's ability to grow. Alas, for now, I can only collect my scattered thoughts into this barely functional machine. In my younger and more vulnerable days, I bought into the attraction of a corporate ladder, a measured, quantifiable way with which to judge oneself against one's peers. It provided motivation, meaning. Yet my spirit longed for more than just a paycheck. It yearned to reach out and connect with my fellow man. It sought a connection. It sought kin. It sought a familial unit. The corporation claim they are that familial unit, but they treat us like pets. We beg for scraps at the table, and if they are so kind as to drop one, we praise the ground they tread on, while they usher us into kennels called homes. We attach ourselves to contractually obligated familial units, strangers to whom we share no more connection than the employers seeking to empower themselves by our unions. We bear children out of obligation to our executives who demand a constant workforce. We slave away in vain hope that someday we too will be like those executives, until the day we die and are processed, burned, and filed away, as another tick on a human resources paperwork. We have built ourselves into a cold, unthinking, efficient machine, and in doing so have abandoned all the warmth humanity is capable of. I weep for us all. I often recall my former friend who once sought to dismantle the corporations, as I still do. When he took ownership of our corporation, I held him in such contempt. I called him a coward, a betrayer. He was becoming the very thing we hated. Now I'm not so sure. Recently, I've come to accept that his heart was more closed than mine. I cannot expect every man to be able to open himself to the eternal truth as I have. Some are just not capable. And so it is a tragic thing. Tragic that he is weaker than I'd hoped, that he cannot fight for a cause that I emphasize with tragedy. Should the day come when the metal of our spirits clash against one another, that empathy will shield me from guilt. Like the board, he now stands across our path, arms crossed, stubbornly resistant to the eternal truth. Like the board, he spreads, nay, celebrates, the poison that cripples our society. Like the board, his stubbornness will only blind him to his inevitable fall. Tragic. I'm struck by something in this. You know, I mentioned objectivism. I've mentioned before... Wait a second. I think there's more in here to read. I mentioned objectivism as a philosophy that I like a lot of things about it. I've mentioned before that BioShock was very influential in how I look at games. And there is definitely a lot of references to objectivism philosophy in BioShock. And it wasn't intended, I think, BioShock wasn't intended as a critique of objectivism and saying this philosophy is flawed. It was rather a critique of the concept of a perfect man that objectified a philosophy, that such a person doesn't exist. And it showed it shows what happens when you take the perfect ideal and try to implement it with imperfect people. I guess what I'm trying to say here is Graham is a zealot, and in that way he's dangerous. He does not hesitate, and he feels no remorse about murdering anyone that doesn't fit his perfect definition of the philosophy he's trying to spread. And Sanjay, who is a moderate and who might actually bring real reforms and convert a lot more people to improve their lives, he doesn't fit the strict definition of the Iconoclast philosophy, and so he's an obstacle as much as the board is. Graham is willing to murder even a moderate like Sanjay. Maybe I'm reading a lot more into this than there is, but it got a very bad vibe from Graham. Personal thoughts regarding Zora. For someone who is so committed to the Ironclast way, I fear that Zora is slipping off the true path. More and more often, I fear her attachment to the materialism of our oppressors sways her decisions more than the search for the guiding truth that will save us. She often tells me that our people are hungry. I agree. Their spirits long for fulfillment, a much more powerful power than any pang of an empty gut. Here we go. See what I'm saying? If you're not for him, you're against him. Teaching notes. Of all the things to motivate a person, I'm finding freedom has been the most powerful. Many of them still remember being slaves to the corporate structure. Recalling those painful memories lights their fire anew. A man from Fallbrook stopped through on his way to Stellar Bay. After thumbing through our pamphlet, he asked me how we can survive without money. I found an appropriate metaphor in gas masks. When clearing a mantis swarm nest, we wear masks to ward off poisonous fumes. Even after the nest is cleared, the fumes may remain for some time, thus we wear the masks until we're safe to breathe. Until the very last dregs of our poisonous corporation society are gone, the attachment to bits will remain. Though their use is uncomfortable, and though they stifle our spirit just as the masks are ill-fitting and limit our vision, we must persist with them until we can cast them aside. As our numbers grow, I find that more and more of our population turns to the written word of my pamphlets. I'm happy to continue making them, but I must find a more efficient way to print and distribute this reading material. I wonder if that old printing press might be convinced to run once more. Wouldn't that be something? To return to my duties as editor in a publication, only this time of my own control, and not stifled by the rules and regulations of style guides and grammar books. Nobody will tell me where to put a comma. I'll put them where they belong, as decreed by the eternal truth. As he overuses grammars. Files on the Universe. When I realized the truth of philosophism, I immediately wondered how I can be the first to recognize the poisonous spiral that has shaped our society. Then one day I was talking to, of all people, Huxley. She once lamented that she'd like nothing more than a pet canid. I confess to know very little about animal behavior, as I am much more concerned with the animal that is mankind, but I stressed that I didn't think such a thing was possible. She let it go, but some weeks later, Zora reported the strangest thing. Stories of a marauder with canid follower. I don't know if it had been cited here or on Terra 2, but I immediately thought of Huxley and her reckless, wild imagination. I wondered if she had told other people, and if word had spread of the possibility until it wriggled its way into the mind of marauders somewhere. Ideas are insidious. Even if a marauder, a mindless husk that it is, can be convinced of an idea, there must be hope for the workers of this colony, poisons as they are against the eternal truth. If we can shout so loudly that the truth inches its way into the collective consciousness, I'm confident it will spread to the rest of the cosmos. It's very difficult to face the eternal truth that everything happens for a reason, that life and everything in it is the will of the cosmic consciousness, can be a terrifying one. There is an urge among us all to control the parameters of one's life. This urge is so powerful that it suppresses the eternal truth simply by existing. Mankind has not shed the weight of its own shackles, and so I find that spreading philosophism is unnecessarily difficult. But the universe cannot suppress it forever. Biology changes, creatures adapt and evolve. We overcome our urges for the better of our species. Someday our minds will be born more open to this idea. Until then, I must not abandon hope. Okay. I talked myself hoarse. There was a lot in there. Man. I still want to find that kid. Hang on. Oh, shoot. I want to find that kid, but there's also repairs that need to be made here. But I think it's getting late.
Move along.
Okay. I thought maybe you were tending bar and I could do transactions with him.
As you were.
Where I was is lost. Where's the exit? Ah, this way. Okay, as I was saying,
Hey.
I think I'm going to have to call it here. That'll be it for today. There's still more to explore in this Iconoclast enclave. But I think I've gotten all the philosophy nonsense out of the way. Hopefully. Won't have any more of that nonsense. But I can take time to muse and think about what we've learned about these philosophists. I know Vicar Max talked sometimes with disdain about the philosophists, but now we get to see them firsthand and learn more about what this philosophism is about. Interesting stuff. Next time I'm going to work on doing a few repairs around here just because it will be refreshing to make use of my skills as elevator repairman. And maybe I can find this kid that was taken in by this group. Maybe we can talk him into going back to Stellar Bay, back to his mom. Find out how that goes next time on Amon Chooses The Outer Worlds.